Good morning, my grade 5s. We have finished the section on measurement for now. We're moving on to a new section called factors. Now, one thing we need to remember about factors is that they fit. Factors fit. They fit perfectly with no remainders. And your times tables that you've been doing since you were in grade 1 are factors. Let me show you why. Let's take 3 times 5, which equals 15. 3 fits into 15 perfectly. No remainders. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 5 fits into 15 perfectly with no remainders. 5, 10, 15. So 3 is a factor of 15 and 5 is a factor of 15. Now, if you look at the top of page 139, they have given you a table and they are asking you to write the answers if you multiply the top number by 12. You don't need to write the answers down for number 1. You can just say them out loud. Hopefully you know your 12 times table well. Let's look at number 2. They are asking you to work out the answers to the 15 times table. Now, we've never done the 15 times table, but I know you can do it. Let's have a look at F, for example. And F says 6 times 15. Well, we know that 15 is 10 and 5. So, 6 times 10 is 60, and 6 times 5 is 30. And if we add those up together, we get 90. So 6 times 15 is 90. So I think you can work those out quite easily in your heads. Have a go. Once you've done that, and you only have to write answers, by the way, we will move on to exercise 74. Now, exercise 74 is asking us to find factors of numbers. And factors always come in pairs, as I showed you with 3 times 5, which equals 15. Now, in the example on page 139, they show you how to do it. I have what I think is an easier way of doing it. So let's have a look at the number 48. I want to know what the factors of 48 are. So I'm going to look at factor pairs to find out. Remember, I said you use your times tables to help you because times tables are numbers in pairs already. So let's look at number 1. We always start with number 1. Start at the beginning. 1 times by 48 is 48. Let's try 2. Does 2 fit into 48? Well, if you're not sure, you can do a little sum. Yes, it does. 2 times by 24 is 48. Let's look at 3. If you're not sure whether 3 fits perfectly into 48, do a divide sum. 3 into 4 goes once, remainder 1. 3 into 18 goes 6 times. So yes, 3 times 16 equals 48. Let's look at 4. Does 4 fit into 48? Well, if you know your 12 times table, you know that 4 times 12 is 48. What about 5? I don't think 5 fits, but let's double check. 5 does not fit into 4. 5 into 48, well, let's count in 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. It goes 9 times, remainder 3. So we cannot use 5. It does not fit perfectly. So let's get rid of our 5. What about 6? 6 into 48? Well, I know, and I'm sure you do too, that 6 times 8 is 48. Let's try 7. 7 into 48? Let's count in 7s. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49. No, 7 does not fit. What about 8? Well, I know 8 does, but look, I've already got an 8. So that is where I stop. I don't need another 8. Okay, so let's look at what we've got here. We have got 1 times 48, 2 times 24, 3 times 16, 4 times 12, and 6 times 8. Those are the factor pairs that fit into 48. If I want to write these factors in a list, I will do it as follows. I will start here at the top and I will work my way down, and then I will work my way up the other side. If you write things in order, it's so much easier for you to see if you are correct or not. So let's look at that. Let's start at the top and work our way down. The first number is 1, then 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, 16, 24, and 48. I couldn't squeeze that in. Right, so now, it's important that you know the difference between factor pairs and factors. These are your factor pairs. Remember, a pair is 2. So your times tables give you the factor pairs. Then you use your factor pairs to write a list of the factors. So we know that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 6 and 8 and 12 and 16 and 24 and 48 all fit into 48 perfectly with no remainders. Let's do another one, just to make sure you know what I mean. I am going to ask you to give me the factors or the factor pairs of 30. Remember, we start at 1 because 1 fits into 30 without a remainder. 1 fits into all numbers without a remainder. 1 times by 30 is 30. 2 times by 15 is 30 because 15 plus 15 is 30. Right, let's look at 3. 3 times by 10 is 30. What about 4? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. Nope, 4 doesn't work. What about 5? 5 times by 6 is 30. The next number would be 6, but look, we've already got a 6, so we know that it's time to stop. Let's list our factors. These are our factor pairs, and if I make a list of factors, I start at the top. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 10, 15, and 30. Now I know that each of these numbers fits into 30 perfectly with no remainders. So now when you begin exercise 74, I want you to work out exactly the way I've done over here. I want you to work out the factor pairs, and then I want you to write out a list of the factors. For question number 2 in exercise 74, they ask you to write down the numbers that are factors of 200. They've given you a whole long list of numbers. They want you to choose the numbers in that list that are factors of 200. Which of those numbers fits into 200 perfectly with no remainders?